Hello and welcome to my video. This is CraftyRia, and of course, as many of you probably already know, I love to recycle used Christmas cards. I take Christmas cards that either I have received or people have saved for me, and I make them into new cards or new things to reuse for next year. So I'm still working on my Christmas cards for this year. These were ones that I received last year. I have two of the same. This says home for the holidays. The inside says may beautiful moments and happy memories surround you with joy this Christmas. So I have two of the same cards, and I decided I would make them both a little bit different. I went ahead and cut this card apart, and I already cut the inside out, and I matted it on some leftover piece on the back. And I'm going to set that aside. I just did that to save a little bit of time on the video. I want to show you two different ways to cut down your cards to make new cards. The first one, I have a 5x7 card blank, or blank note card. I bought these in a big pack with cards and envelopes, and you can get them at any craft store. This one happens to be green. I thought it matched the tree pretty well and gave good contrast. And it is just about the size of the original card, so it will work fine. But if you don't have the 5x7 cards, or if you don't feel like using a whole sheet of cardstock just to make one card, you can also do it with an A2 size card. This is 5.5 by 4.25. You can get two of these from one sheet of regular cardstock. I buy my cardstock by like Georgia Pacific or something like that, that's in the regular office supply section of your store. It is very inexpensive in a big pack. But the card is a little bit bigger than the card backing, so we're going to have to trim it down. But I think there's enough wasted space on here that we'll be able to trim it down, and it'll still look really good. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll do the easier one first on this 5x7 card. And I do want to mention, if you haven't seen it in my other video, I have a brand new Facebook group out there for all of you. I made it for all of us to get together so we can share our work, because you can't really post your videos to my YouTube. I'd still love to have you leave your comments here, but head on over to my Facebook group. I'll leave it linked below. It is Create with CraftyRia, and I'd love to have you come over there and join us. We're just getting started, and we just have a handful of ladies there, and I'd love to have you join us. All right, I will get my paper trimmer. You can use any kind that you like. Since this is about the same size as the 5x7, I only need to take a little bit off. And I decided I would leave this red border, and I would leave a little bit of this craft color paper around it, because it already looks like it's matted. So I would save some paper and some time. I'm going to let the card do the work. I'll put it in here first, and I'm just going to trim just a little bit off of each side, and then we'll see where we're at. I want to make all sides look pretty equal. I'd like to have about the same amount of edge on all four sides of that red border. And I'll hold it up to this card, and I'll see where I'm at. There's plenty of room at the top and the bottom, but not much on the left or the right. So I will take a little bit more of each off of each side on the left and the right. And then we'll see where we're at again. Like I said, I'd like to have it pretty equal on all four sides. And I think that's not bad at all. It looks like it already has a little bit of a border or a matting on it, since there's this red border and then there's this craft color, which is a little darker than the inside of the card. So like I said, I'm going to let the card do the work. I'm going to take another little sliver off that left side since the right side is a little bit thinner. And I'm just eyeballing it. It's better to try it a couple times and take off a bunch of little pieces than to make it too small from the get-go. Alright, so that's what that's going to look like. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to go ahead and cut out the sentiment from the inside. This is one of the new paper trimmers I purchased. If you haven't seen my other video where I compare a whole bunch of paper trimmers, head on over there and check it out. If you're unsure what kind of paper trimmer is going to work best for you, if you're in the market for one, head on over to that other video and check it out. I wanted something that was small enough that I could have the whole thing on camera. So we have this piece, and you know I always like to mat things for the inside of the card. Since the inside is white, I don't want just this white sentiment on there. And if I use the leftover piece on the back here, it will match the card perfectly. The problem with this card is that there was tape on here. I don't know if you can see, it's really sticky. So what I'm going to do to make up for that, I'm going to go ahead and mount this right over that piece of tape. Get my tape runner out. This is a tape runner that I got from the Tape Depot. I buy the refills on Amazon. It's very inexpensive to use. The initial price is a little high if you think about it, but it hardly creates any waste, and it's very inexpensive to use, and the tape sticks really, really well. So then I'm just going to trim this down to make a border around the saying. My husband's taking the dog out in case you hear some doors opening and shutting. And I don't know if you've heard me talk about him, but my dog's name is Jonah, and he is crazy. So I took out some embellishments. I'm not sure what I want to do with the cards yet. I have 3 of these little snowflakes left over from Jolie's. I might use those on the smaller cards since they're smaller. I have a little more room to work with on this big card. And I have to decide what I want to do. I could put some of these, this I got from the Dollar Tree. Of course, I've used some of the stickers on it. I could put some of these white snowflakes on it, and then maybe some of these trees down at the bottom. And I think since they go well together, I might just go ahead and do that. I also had some of these snowflake brads that I thought I might use, or these snowflake stickers. But I think I'm just going to go with these Dollar Tree stickers. I'm going to make this card nice and simple. So to adhere the front of it to the back, I'm just going to put a bunch of tape on it. If you're interested in this type of a tape runner, you can Google search ATG gun and find it online. They have several different brands. Like I said, I got mine from the Tape Depot. So I'm going to hold it by, to line it up on my card, I'm going to hold it by 2 corners, and I'm going to eyeball the 2 opposite corners until they look even to me. And then I'm going to push it down. That's kind of the way I've always done it, and I really like the results I get just by eyeballing it. Okay, so I have this already set on there, and let's see, I'll put a couple of these snowflakes. These are just foam and they have some glitter on them. And I get them at the Dollar Tree. They have all kinds of neat ones. I love shopping at the Dollar Tree because you can find some stuff pretty inexpensive. Okay. Then I have some of these. I thought I could put some, like maybe down here. One over here. And maybe one like in the middle somewhere. Maybe a little bit lower. Just to make it like there's some trees here. And then what if I put one here to kind of bring it in the background. Maybe have it lined up with the snow on the ground. I'm not sure if I want to put one on this side. Let me hold one up to it and we'll see. No, I don't think so because it would have to hang off the edge of the card a little bit too much. So there we have some Christmas trees and some snowflakes. So it made this card a little bit 3D. I kind of like it. I would like this one higher if I could get it up higher because it almost looks like it's sitting on the front of the car and I don't want that. Kind of more with the tree line. There we go. I'm going to take one of the insides that I made and put it on the inside. And that way really none of the card gets wasted. Very little bit. There, so there's one done. And then let's go ahead and do this one. Make it a little bit smaller. So we need to cut it down for this 5.5 by 4 1/4. So I want to cut it to 5 1/4 by 4. Just take 1/4 of an inch off. So we are limited in space by the top. That's going to determine how long the card is. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim it off as close to the word home as I can get it. And then that measurement's going to be easy because I'm just going to cut down here to 5 1/4. And then we'll take what we can get at the bottom. Okay, and then I need to go to 4. So I'm going to take my ruler here to 4 and just get an eyeball of where I need it to be if I'm going to center it at 4. So I'm going to cut it just shy of this tree on this side and then measure up the other side. And then I'll line this up at 4 and give it a cut. There. So that's one easy way to do it without doing a whole lot of measuring. And see how it looks on this? I think that looks pretty good. I'm just going to leave it matted right on that white. Because if I mat it on another color onto the white, I'm going to have to cut this card shorter, and I don't really want to make it any smaller. And again, I'm going to hold 2 corners of it and line up the other 2 corners. Kind of hover it over the paper before I set it down to get it at the right placement. And I have these 3 snowflakes left over, and I thought the colors went really well with this card, especially these red ones. I think they're really kind of cool. So I'll put that up there, kind of pulls that red in. bring that one down a little bit. And maybe I'll put this one over here by the tree. Now I could add a little bling to the bottom of the card. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to save this little piece of acetate because it'll come in handy if I want to make a shaker card. I try to save acetate whenever I can. So I'm going to get my bling box out and see what I have. I have some silver bling that I could probably put along there like the road. I also have black, and I want to see what the black looks like. No, I think I like the silver. I have white pearls, but I don't think I'm going to like them. I don't know, though. Now, the white pearls do look like snow on the ground. I wonder. Let me take a piece off. This bling I get from AliExpress. I'll link it in the description box below. It comes on the little adhesive strings. I also believe that they have it at Walmart too. Not Walmart, I don't know what I'm talking about. Amazon. I'm going to go ahead and put this on, and I'm putting it on just a little wavy to make it look a little snowy. And the pieces of adhesive just break right off real easy, or you can cut them. So we have just a little bit of pearls along the bottom. So there you have it. I made 2 cards out of one. Both were the same size, but I made them both different. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button because there'll be more of it coming. And thanks again for watching. Now go get crafting. Bye-bye.